The EVP show keeps the drama in play. It's go, let's go, where the heroes rise and the legends grow. CJP brings the shots, you know. The EVP show is out of control.
What is going on, everyone? It's the EVP on the EVP show, and tonight I am flying solo at my co-host that was supposed to be joining me tonight. Some late minute changes. So I will be flying solo. And yeah, so we had a really good NXT tonight. I feel like yeah, it was action packed. It's obviously the go home show to NXT Heatwave, which will be taking place Sunday. Obviously you can see it behind me. Gonna be in Loyal, Massachusetts. Start time is, I think the pre-show is 6:30 or something like that, and the start time will be 7 p.m. Eastern. So we're in for a really good card. But yeah, we're live on my Facebook on the EVP show, and also live on my X. And this is the NXT recap for tonight, and it was action packed tonight. Like, I kind of made this mention on SmackDown recap that SmackDown and NXT, obviously you can't really compare them, but it's 2 hours, so like you can't turn your head for a minute or you might miss something. It's very action packed, and they have to cram everything in, but I feel like NXT does a lot better job with their 2 hours than what SmackDown's been doing lately. For me, I just started watching NXT probably about 4 or 5 months ago. And I just really started getting into it. I love their creative. So many talented stars over there that are going to be big when they get to the main roster. Obviously, we've seen some call-ups like Stephanie Vacour, Roxanne Perez, Julia, people like that. So I'm excited to see, what's to come for a lot of these stars in NXT right now. Because let's face it, like, the women's division NXT is, you could put it right up there with the main roster. I kind of feel like in WWE right now, and even the men's division now in NXT. I mean, NXT for me is a better show than SmackDown, especially the last couple of weeks. It hasn't even been close. It's blowing SmackDown out of the water. So we're live tonight for the go home NXT. Obviously, Raw was in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and NXT was also in Philly tonight. I thought that was pretty cool that they're doing Raw and NXT from Philly. Obviously, the commentators for tonight was Vic Joseph. He's kind of like the lead commentator. And then you have the analyst, which is kind of Booker T, and then Corey Graves as well. Ring announcer, obviously, Mike Rome. And then we have like backstage, like the backstage reporters. I don't think I saw Sarah tonight, but Sarah Schreiber's usually there, and Kelly Kincaid. So yeah, those are the two that do most of the backstage interviews with the stars and stuff like that. So it basically kicked off with Trick Williams. They showed Trick and Javon walking into the arena or into the building. Trick's already inside, so is Javon. Obviously, that's our main event tonight. Number 1 contenders match to see who's going to face Obafemi at NXT Heatwave coming up Sunday for the NXT Men's Championship. We also see Fatal Influence walking in, which is JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Jasmine Nix. JC Jane, in case you've been living under a rock, she is a double champion. She is the TNA Women's Knockouts champion, and she is the NXT Women's champion. So they're walking in as well. We see Chelsea Green. I think it's good that we've been seeing a lot of these main roster. We've seen Nia. We've seen Chelsea Green the last few weeks on NXT. So I feel like that's good seeing these main roster stars, working some of these NXT shows as well. It brings a little bit more spice to the show, I feel like. So we saw Chelsea Green and all ego Ethan Page, the men's NXT North American champion. Along with, obviously, when you see Chelsea, you're going to see her Secret Harvest, which is Piper Niven and Alba Fire. Zach says, Happy National Soft Ice Cream Day. Happy National Soft Ice Cream Day to you too as well. Didn't know that. That's interesting. So obviously we're supposed to be kicking off the show with the Philadelphia Street Fight between Yoshiki and Amora and Josh Briggs, but they start they basically start brawling in the back, like they start the fight in the back. This match was crazy. Both of them were by the end of it, there were whelps on it. Both of them had whelps on their arms and their backs. Busted open. There was color. Both of them were bleeding. It was a very, very intense match. It kind of starts off. Josh Briggs kind of throws Inamura into the steps, and then Inamura is known for the chops, kind of like Gunther and Ric Flair. A lot of chops by Inamura. Inamura suplexed Josh Briggs on the floor. That floor doesn't have much padding, so it's crazy. They're talking about how the winner could kind of put themselves in the title conversation. The winner, whoever was going on, Ryan. The winner could put themselves in title conversation. Obviously, putting themselves up there to maybe like a number one contender after Heatwave. Because we've seen Josh Briggs already have a match with Obafemi. So they were talking about that. So Josh Briggs they have everything in the ring. They have a trash can. They have like this little it looks like a fence or something. I don't know. But it would bend. So I don't really know exactly what it was. But you're saying a trash can, tables. I mean, you've seen everything in this match. For me, you saw a kendo stick. Josh Briggs was wailing on it more with that kendo stick. Josh Briggs also used electrical tape and tied Yoshiki and Amora arms up to the ring, like the top rope. That both of his arms were tied up with electrical tape, which was crazy. So a lot of chair shots. But I think the part where like Briggs got busted open the most is when Inamura put the trash can over Josh Briggs' head and took that baseball bat and popped Josh Briggs upside that. Like, I mean, I don't know how that couldn't have hurt. I mean, he swung like Bryce Harper. He took a big cut, and after that, like I don't know if maybe he cut himself up under the trash can. I don't know, but I mean, possibly could have got cut right there. Like I said, there was a lot of things going on. There was a steel bar that went across, like they laid this steel bar across the chairs. Josh Briggs did, and this was a better street fight, one of the best street fights that like I've seen in a while. So, like I said, Briggs, he actually throws at the beginning of the match. He takes a kendo stick and just throws it into the ring and pops Inamura upside the head with it. Like I said, he tied him up with electrical tape. It was about 4 shots to the back that Josh Briggs did to Inamura with the kendo stick, and they were wet. Like you could see it starting to whelp up. So Inamura put the trash can over Briggs' head. It was punching him through the trash can, and then he took that bat and hit him through the trash can. Briggs is busted open. Inamura got the table out. Inamura went up top. Now Josh Briggs has got a steel chain wrapped around his wrist and his hand, and he is going to end up using that through this match. So he does end up hitting a splash through the table. There's another table brought in by Yoshiki, and this match is just wild. Briggs ended up hitting Inamura with the moonsault off the top rope through the table, and that is how the match ended. Josh Briggs hits Yoshiki Inamura with a moonsault off the top rope through through the wooden table for the 1, 2, 3. Josh Briggs gets the win in the Philadelphia Street Fight. I would give this match a solid 8.5, maybe a 9. It was very good way to start off the night. And for me, one of the best street fights that definitely the best one I've seen on NXT, but it was a really good street fight, for sure. So obviously in the back, they go to Ava. She's handling business. She's talking to Santino Marella and Masha Slamovich about, Masha's kind of campaigning to be the special guest referee, obviously in this six woman tag match tonight. And Santino says as long as there's no shenanigans, and she said that there wasn't going to be any, and so Ava agrees to let Masha Slamovich, the former TNA Women's Knockout Champion, be the special guest referee tonight. Which, I mean, there really wasn't much shenanigans with it. She did a pretty good job. I expected it to be like a little bit more, but there was a few spots I think where it could have been a little bit better, but it wasn't terrible. So out comes the Revolution from New Orleans, Louisiana. Some people call him Ricky Starks. That's what his name was at AEW, and now they call him Ricky Saints. And he is going to be going up against the season 1 men's LFG winner, Jasper Choi, who always comes out there with that chain around his neck. Kind of reminds me of the Junkyard Dog with that. But before the match gets started, obviously they go to commercial. They do an advertisement showing that the combo ticket to WrestleMania in Las Vegas again are going to go on sale. I think September 21st or September 22nd, something like that. So it's going to be some combo tickets. If you guys are planning on going to WrestleMania and spending thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, because tickets are going to be high this year, just like they were last year. But it looks like Las Vegas is going to be a permanent home for WrestleMania. It looks like they're going to have many WrestleManias there. You also see Trick in the back, Trick Williams. He talking to Sarah Schreiber. He said that he loves him some Trick. He loves he's feeling himself. He talks about how he just beat Moose at the last TNA PLE, and he said that he is going to beat Javon back to high school where he belongs. He said he is going to be the 3-time NXT champion. He is a 3-time NXT champion. Let's talk about it. That's Trick saying, let's talk about it. But Trick I've seen a lot of character development with Trick over since I started watching NXT, which is I said about 5 or 6 months ago. And Trick's came a long way. He's a TNA champion, and he put on a great main event match tonight. I didn't expect him to win, being the TNA champion, because I think they're already overdoing it a little bit with JC Jane being the double champion stuff. But we can't have everybody, especially the women, the men's and the women's can't be double champions. I mean, I think that's just a bit too much. So we get into the Jasper Troy versus Ricky Saint. Like I said, Jasper Troy is the LFG Season 1 winner. He defeated, who did he beat in the I'm trying to remember who Jasper beat in the finals of LFG Season 1. If any of you guys in the comments know, I'm trying to think who he was. I'll think of it in a minute. But yes, he did win Season 1. He beat, let's see, it's gonna kill me if I don't remember who it is. He beat the guy that is representing the Undertaker right now. Shallow Hill. He beat Shallow Hill in the championship for the LFG Season 1 men's championship. So the match gets started. Ricky Saints is taking it to Jasper Troy a little bit, but Jasper Troy powers up. Saints ends up putting Troy in a sleeper hold. Jasper takes about 3, 4, 5 minutes to try to break out of the sleeper. He finally gets out of it. He missed a headbutt. Ricky Saints ends up doing a high crossbody for a 2 count. Then Jasper Troy hits Saints with a big boot. And then Jasper Troy also with a headbutt. He is really taking it. He takes it to the outside with Ricky Saints. He's stomping Ricky Saints into the corner. Basically, they get back into the ring and we get another body slam on Ricky Saints, elbow drop, but a kick out by Ricky Saints. So Ricky Saints starts fighting back, and then the momentum switches right back to Jasper Troy. So he throws Saints into the corner. Troy has Saints in a submission move. Ricky Saints fights back and hits. Oh, that's what it was. So Jasper went for an elbow drop and he missed, and Ricky Saints took control after that. So Saints does end up hitting the elbow drop on Jasper Troy. And then they got a commercial. Obviously, they showed Javon Evans in the back warming up. Once they come back from commercial, they showed Jasper Troy throwing Ricky Saints into the steps outside. Jasper misses with a body drop on the steps, and I think this was kind of the turning point for this match. Ricky Saints ends up hitting a tornado DDT on the floor on Jasper Troy, and then he gets him back up into the ring, and he hits him with another tornado DDT off the top rope for a one. Well, he used his left leg to do the tornado DDT, to leverage off the top rope for the 1, 2, 3. The revolution continues, and the winner of that match was Ricky Saints. I think that match was pretty good. Jasper Troy, I didn't really think Jasper Troy was going to win LFG Season 1. I thought Shallow was a little better. But at the end of the day, Jasper got the win, and I mean, look what he's already done. He hasn't won a title, but I don't think he needs to win a title right now because he just got called up. But he's already had a title match against Oba. He looked really good in. He's been in there with Javon. Now he's been in there with Ricky Saints. So Jasper Troy, the LFG people, they're definitely getting that strong push from coming out of LFG for sure. So then we see Ava, which is obviously The Rock's daughter, the GM of NXT, in the back with Tank Ledger, and Hank Walker, Hank and Tank, which they are the NXT Tag Team Champions. Just kind of a brief little conversation. And then we see the personal concierge for the Elegance brand, Ash and and Heather. Um, Hank and Tank said that they're ready. They did say they're ready to cause some chaos. So we do see the Elegance brand, and they're talking about Masha being the referee. They call Masha Slamovich. They called her filthy. Masha walks in with the referee shirt on. I was like, wow. So yeah, the personal concierge said he's not happy and he is going to consult his attorney, which I don't know. I'm not really digging. I wasn't really digging that segment too much. I mean, ultimately, we know what it's leading to. Um, Heat Wave, JC Jane's gonna have to defend the TNA Women's Knockouts Championship against Ash by Elegance and Masha Slamovich in a triple threat match. I'm looking forward to the match. I think the match is going to be great, but I'm just not a big, huge fan of the Elegance brand. I can't really get behind it. I don't know, just something about it. I just can't get behind it. So we see Jordan Grace in the back. She's going to be making her way out to the ring. So once I get back from commercial break, Jordan Grace walks out to the ring. And she's talking about how she will be facing Blake Monroe, who is very new, not really new, but kind of new. She's been in NXT for a couple of months now, something like that. She came from AEW, obviously Mariah May, and AEW. So she comes out there and she said that she came to NXT to build a reputation, and she also came to win titles. She said that clearly has not happened. She said she felt like that weaknesses have gotten the best of her, and she said even though it was a short amount of time, a friendship set her back, even though the friendship was very brief. She said in the wrestling, she's been wrestling for 15 years all around the world. She says she knows how wrestling friendships go, but she said there's also always an exception to every rule, and she thought that maybe this was the exception, which she's referring to her brief friendship with Blake Monroe. You know, she thought like they were really friends, I guess, and she knows how it is in the wrestling business that, you know, those friendships can turn in a New York dime. So she then goes on to talk about it was a stupid decision of her to trust Blake, and that WWE in WWE you have to learn to make adjustments, which is all very true. She said that she has public insecurity. She is known for she is publicly addressing her insecurities, and she has one goal in mind, and that is for Blake to see herself for who she is. So we hear Blake Monroe's music hit. Obviously, Blake Monroe's out with security guards, and she says, "Hello, my muscle muffin." That's obviously what Blake was calling Jordan Grace when they were kind of teamed up or friends or whatever she called her little muscle muffin. I thought that was really funny. I love when she says that. She said there's not going to be no redemption for the truth tonight. Like I said, she did bring the security team out with her, and she also brought out some sort of NXT contract. She said she had a contract drawn up to where if Jordan Grace laid one finger on Blake Monroe, then the match at NXT Heatwave was going to not. It wasn't going to happen. it was going to be called off. Obviously, she never opened up the contract, and I'm sure that really wasn't in the contract. But for kayfabe and show purposes, we're going to pretend like it really was in that contract. So like I said, there was a contract brought up. So Jordan said that Blake Monroe, her main problem was, she said, Blake, you're at Evolution, right? And Blake was like, yeah, I was. And Jordan's like, well, guess what? You were on the outside. You were on the outside of the ring looking in. Like that was the one of the biggest shows that they have in WWE for the women. It is the biggest show they have in WWE for the women, Evolution. She was on the outside, like supposed to be protecting Jordan Grace. So that was kind of a low blow there. She called she called her a disgusting snake, and she said Blake Monroe tells her that she can't stay calm, she can't handle the pressure, and she respects playing the superstar. She said the glamour has arrived, and there's not room for both of us in NXT. She said she is going to hit. She said she's not worried about getting hit because obviously she has her security with her. Jordan Grace says, I don't have to lay a finger on you to show you what I'm going to do to you at NXT Heatwave. And Jordan Grace goes on to destroy all 4 or 5 members of the security team. And then she just kind of grabs Jordan Grace's arm and she said, I'm going to show you what ugly is really like come Sunday at NXT Heatwave. So, like I said, we're going to have Jordan Grace going one-on-one versus Blake Monroe Sunday at NXT Heatwave. I will announce all of the matches for Heatwave when we get closer to the end of the stream. So we see Fatal Influence in the back, talking about Ash by Elegance. Just brief little short segment there. And then we see Sol Ruka and Zarya. And it I don't know, I couldn't somebody come up and talk to Sol, and she said that she's got the need for speed. Obviously, Sol Ruka is also a double champion. She's the women's North American champion, and she is the WWE Speed champion, which I didn't even know about that until a couple of weeks ago. So we did see Javon after that talking to Sarah Schreiber in the back. Javon said that Trick is selfish. He said that he is the young OG and he has Trick Williams' number. Javon said to get to Obafemi at Heatwave, he has got to get through Trick Williams. He said Trick is running around from promotion to promotion, saying he's this and he's that. He's tricking but he said he's just an ugly ass actor. That's basically what Javon said about Trick. He told him in 30 minutes time, he was going to whoop that Trick, which obviously that's Trick's song, which I don't know. I love the promo there from Javon Evans. I'm a big fan of Javon. I love seeing what Javon can do. So, like I said, we see the Elegance brand again with the personal concierge. Then we see like the TNA, they're the TNA knockout champions. I think it's Heather and M, and then obviously Ash. And so we're going to get a 6-woman tag match. It's going to be the Elegance brand going up against, accompanied by the personal concierge. The special guest referee is going to be Masha Slamovich going up against Fatal Influence, which is JC Jane, who is the TNA Knockout Women's Champion and the NXT Women's Champion. Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix. They call them the goddesses of hostility. That's what they call fatal influence. So at the beginning of the match, we see M. She starts with Jasmine Nix. So back and forth on that. This match for me was just kind of choppy. It was kind of all over the place. But I do feel like the Elegance brand. I do feel like they were in control majority of the match. They kept Fallon Henley in the ring for a long time. But when JC Jane got that huge, like, got that hot tag, like even the fan, like even the NXT fans in Philly, like they were chanting JC Jane. So even though she is a heel, the fans are definitely behind JC Jane in this matchup. Pretty good match. Like I said, for me, it was a little bit choppy. Obviously, just a lot of back and forth. Fallon Henley was in the ring for majority of the match. The Elegance brand did a good job of cutting the ring in half, not allowing Fallon to tag out. But ultimately, Masha ends up kicking. So the personal concierge grabs, I think it's Fallon's leg, and prevents a pinfall, and Masha sees it and she kicks him out of the match at like probably around the midway point of the match. But then we get another section of the match close to the end where Masha Slamovich is distracted and Ash by Elegance goes for the pin. Obviously she has the pinfall victory right there, but those few seconds that Masha was distracted, she only ended up getting a 2 count. So JC Jane ends up hitting Ash by Elegance with the rolling encore and gets the pinfall 1, 2, 3 with the fatal influence, securing the victory there. I think that's a big win for JC. Going into Heat Wave, I am a firm believer of normally when somebody stands tall before a PLE, it doesn't look too good for them going into the PLE. So could we see a new TNA Knockouts champion, women's champion at Heat Wave? I think it's a strong possibility. I don't know how long they're going to have JT holding both belts. It's a triple threat. She doesn't have to be pinned. I don't know. We'll see. Could it be Masha? Could it be Ash? Should be a good matchup though. So then obviously we get Masha and Ash are pushing each other, and then they say again that it's going to be a triple threat at Heatwave for that TNA Knockouts Championship. So after that, we see Chelsea Green and Ethan Page, Piper Niven, and Alba Fire. And after that, we're going to see Tavion Heights and Tyra May Steele, who was the season 1 LFG women's winner. She hasn't been on TV much lately, but Tavion brought her in last week, and now she is in a huge angle with All Ego Ethan Page and the former first United States women's champion, longest reigning, is what she said. United States women's champion, and I think she is. Chelsea Green. So we got a commercial break. Obviously, they do a promotion for Survivor Series, WWE Survivor Series coming up. It's going to be in San Diego. So here we go. This is scheduled to be a Canadian and a United States peace treaty. I didn't think this was going to go very well. So first off was the Canadian contention, which was Chelsea Green, and the NXT North American Champion All Ego Ethan Page with Piper Niven and Alba Fire. You can see that they have like United States flag and a Canadian flag in the ring with a table. Alba Fire and Piper Niven take that table and throw it over the top rope. They're trying to act like they don't want any type of violence or anything. They're trying to have a treaty, trying to like squash all of this. So the United States contention is Tyra May Steele. She said she was in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. She won a gold medal there, and obviously Tavion Heights has two. He's also a United States Olympian as well. So they're representing the United States. So All Ego basically starts off the discussion saying that he wants to have a peaceful discussion and he wants to squash the beef. He tells Tavion that he is becoming a solo star and that he is a weapon in human form. So he said, but the only problem I have with you is the way you look at me. And he said, I am a 19-year veteran. I'm a world-class athlete. And you're looking at me like you want an opportunity. Like basically referring to the title. So he tells Ethan that he's foolish for under. Tavion gets on the mic so that after Ethan said he really only wants a shot at Ethan Page's title, and then Tavion responds back telling Ethan that he's foolish for underestimating him and that he's hungry for what's on his plate and what also is on Ethan's plate. After that, Chelsea Green interrupts, and she said that she told Tavion not that he was being disrespectful and that all Americans are rude. She said that Canada is rich with culture, said it's a superior nation as athletes. They have a superior. Basically, she said Canadian athletes are superior. She said, so Tyra May still gets the mic, and she said that Chelsea Green, she talks too much. She said in Philly, we speak our minds. She tells Chelsea to shut that voice box up, which that was hilarious to me. She told Chelsea, I was in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. And then Chelsea calls her honey bunches of oats. Chelsea is just freaking hilarious. She says that she can take her down any time she wants. That's what Tyra told Chelsea Green. So out comes Ava. Again, we see a lot of Ava tonight. And she said it seemed that there will be no peace treaty tonight. There is no peace being made. So she said at NXT Heatwave, we're going to have a mixed tag team match. We're going to see All Ego Ethan Page and our first former United States Women's Champion Chelsea Green going up against Tavion Heights and Tyra May Steele. I'm super excited for this match. Don't know if Tavion and Tyra May are going to win. I think that Secret Harvest is going to be out there, but I think this is a good match to elevate both of them. I just can't possibly see them beat Ethan Page and Chelsea Green. You never know, though. You just never know. But she said that the match is going to be official. So after that, Tavion and Tyra May both put the ankle lock. They apply the angle lock, the angle lock on Chelsea and Ethan Page. You can see both of them tapping out, and then Piper and Alba grab Chelsea out of the ring, and then ultimately they end up helping Ethan Page get out as well. So looking forward to that match. That match will happen at NXT Heatwave. And I will announce that one. I announce all of the matches. Then we have a little small backstage segment with Ricky Saints. He's in the back talking to Miles Bourne. And Lexus King interrupts. And he acts like he's being like sentimental, wanting to apologize to Miles Bourne for what he did. But then he called him deaf and blind twice. Obviously, we do know that Miles Bourne is deaf and he's dating Stephanie Valcour, which is congratulations to him on that. So he said, "I am deaf, but I'm not blind." And at that point, Lexus King sprays some sort of liquid mace or something in Miles Bourne's eyes. So obviously, we're headed towards a Miles Bourne, like another Miles Bourne Lexus King match. Could be after Heat Wave or something like that, but there's definitely an angle coming up with them two. I talk about the main event again. It's number one contenders match. Trick Williams versus Javon Evans, with the winner going on to face Obafemi at NXT Heatwave. But before that, we see Lola Vice and Kalani Jordan in the back. Both of them talking about how they're going to win Sunday. Obviously, they are in a triple threat match. It's Lola Vice, Kalani Jordan, and Jada Parker. With the winner, I mean, it's going to happen Sunday at Heatwave, with the winner being the number one contender for the women's NXT championship. Lola Vice has really been on a roll lately. I love Jada Parker too, but we did see Lola Vice. Obviously, I think she's dating Damian Priest, but we saw her at the AAA event as well. So she's really getting that push. I feel like the elevation, but Jada is as well, and Kalani is great too. So really tough to call there on that. I have to think about that before the prediction show, but that one's going to be pretty tough to predict for me for sure. So then Lash Legend walks in, and she said that Jada Parker does not deserve to be in that match, that she is the biggest threat to that NXT title. And obviously, Lola and Kalani are making fun, like poking fun at her about her match with Nia Jax, saying that she got squashed basically, which I don't really feel like that. I feel like the Lash Nia match was really good. Lash Legend showed her power and just how strong and athletic, and her ability to hang in there with a top star like Nia Jax. So they were just kind of poking fun at her about that. Then we see Ava in the back, and we see Dark State. So the big question is, Dark State will be facing Hank and Tank Sunday at NXT Heatwave for the NXT tag titles, but which two members of Dark State will it be? Well, Dark State says that no one can handle them. They tell Ava, "Did you see what we did to you guys as top stars? We beat Oba and Trick and Moose and Javon last week." Ava said she was impressed by that. So Dark State ended up saying Joe Hendry's name, and there was like a little like dresser thing behind, and obviously if you say his name, he's gonna appear. So out comes Joe Hendry, which I thought that was hilarious because you say his name, he's gonna appear. We got to see Joe Hendry. I enjoyed that. So I think it was, I can't remember the guy's name on let's got a comment. What's going on? Final Boss Baby. Good to see you there. He was on LFG for a while. I just can't think of his name. But he ends up telling Joe Hendry that he doesn't want them behind him, and Joe Hendry told Ava that that's a weird. He said that's very, very weird. So before I get to this, which is the matches that are going to be going on at Heatwave, I'm going to kind of skip over that until the end. We're going to get to the main event for the night. It's the number one contenders match for the winner facing Obafemi at NXT Heatwave for the NXT Men's Championship. We have the young OG, Javon Evans, going up against Trick Williams, the TNA champion. And you can see Obafemi is up there in the crowd scouting. I like that. I think Oba's been champion 223 days, something like that, and counting. So, there's been rumblings and rumors about Sol Ruka and Obafemi coming up to the main roster soon. So yeah, I mean, Oba's been champion a while. Is he gonna drop Sunday? I don't know, but I think if he does, it'll be in good hands because Javon Evans is just phenomenal. So we're getting to the main event. We see Obafemi out there. Trick attacks Javon very quickly. Like he's like all over him. To the corners, a couple body slams, a kick. Then Javon goes for a roll up, gets a 2 count. Javon hits a drop kick on Trick, 2 count there, chop. And then Trick starts chopping Javon Evans. This is kind of a back and forth match. It was the match of the night. But I think the street fight and this match are my favorite 2 matches. I think I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, but Javon was up on the top rope. Obviously, was going to go for one of his finishing type moves. I call it a mixture of the RKO and a Cody cutter, but he does it off the top rope. So he was going to go for something like that, like his moonsault type thing, and Trick just pushes him off the top rope, and he goes flying off the top rope into a table, and like the announcer jumped up, like medical come out there. They were like, "Oh my god, like is he really hurt?" Like it looked to me like he was done. Like the match was going to be done from there. But somehow when they come back from commercial break, Trick and Javon are back in the ring. Obviously, I was watching on CW, so I think that's one thing WWE needs to improve on is all these commercials. It gets kind of annoying with all these commercials for sure, but it is what it is. So Javon does get back into the match, but Javon gets his mouth cut early on in the match from like at the opening bell. Like Trick hit that super kick, like not the super kick, but he hit him with like that Booker T type kick, and it busted his mouth open. So Javon was fighting from behind this entire match, but ultimately, Trick dominated. I would say Trick dominated probably 90 to 95% of this match, but when it counts at the end, Trick is like mouthing off to Oba, like he's mouthing off to the crowd. He's being cocky. He's just being Trick Williams, like he's being that character that he's developed into, that great character. But he looks up, and it's not Obafemi. It's actually Mike Santana from TNA, which is rumored to be one of the top people that is supposed to take that TNA championship off of Trick Williams. So that is a distraction for Trick Williams, and Javon Evans ends up hitting that finishing move twice. I don't. He's so, they call him bounce. Like he's always bouncing back and forth. Like he's the most athletic person I think I've ever seen. He does the bouncy thing where he jumps off the top rope, and then he lands on the floor and takes Trick out. So, like I said, it was so much action in this match. But he does end up hitting a frog splash. But it was a 2 count. Trick kicked out from that. And then, like I said, he does see Mike Santana, and then Javon ends up hitting that. I call it the cutter. I don't know what the technical word. I call it the cutter because he bounces off the top rope, and then it's similar to like an RKO ish Cody cutter type style, and he pins Trick Williams 1, 2, 3 to become the number 1 contender for the men's NXT Heat Wave. Huh? I'm tripping. For the men's NXT champion. So he will challenge Obafemi. So overall, I love the Philadelphia street fight. I think it was phenomenal to open the show. I mean, there. I'm not. I just can't get behind the Ash by Elegant stuff yet. Like, I think maybe I need to watch a little bit more TNA, and maybe I could kind of know their story. I don't really know a whole lot about them. I don't watch TNA. I don't watch AEW very much, very so often. But I would give this show at least about an 8, 8.5. It's a go home show. I think the opening match, the Philadelphia Street Fight, was phenomenal. And then obviously Trick and Javon, because I didn't think the way the match was playing out, it looked like Javon had no chance to win. And obviously Mike Santana distracted Trick enough for Javon to take advantage of that and hit his finishing move, which I call it the Cody Cutter off the top rope, because that's basically what it is. But obviously Cody can't bounce around like Javon Evans, but it's a cool move. He hit it twice on Trick for the 1, 2, 3. So once again, we are live. Thank you to the people that's watching. We're live on my Facebook. We're live on the EVP show, and we're also live on my X. So yeah, I'm gonna give the show about an 8.5. But I'm gonna go over the card for NXT Heatwave that's coming up in Loyal, Massachusetts, Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So the matches that we're going to have on the card is we're going to have Dark State. We don't know which two members yet because Dark State said you're just going to have to wait and see. Going up against Hank and Tank for the NXT Tag Championships. Raw needs some tag teams. So I don't know if Hank and Tank are ready to come up, but if they are, Raw could use some tag teams. So could we see a tag title change? I think it's possible. I think Hank and Tank they're definitely going to be outnumbered. So I think this is possibly where we're going to see Dark State win some gold. I mean, they just beat Trick and Oba and Javon and Moose last week. So I don't know. I think there's a strong chance that we could see new tag champions. I'm not giving my prediction yet. I'm just kind of giving I'm giving my analytic opinion on it. And then we're going to see a women's triple threat for the number one contender for the women's NXT championship that currently is held by JC Jane. We're going to see Jada Parker going up against Kalani Jordan and Lola Vice. That one's going to be tough to pick. If I had to pick right now, I probably would pick Lola Vice. I think she's being pushed really hard. I don't know. I got a couple of days to think about it, but yeah, I love all three of them. But I probably, if I had to pick right now, I'd probably go with Lola. And then we're going to see the TNA Knockout Championship, Women's Knockout Championship on the line in a triple threat match. JC Jane will be defending against Ash by Elegance and Masha Slamovich. I think possibly maybe could see a title change there too. This card is pretty difficult to predict. WWE NXT done a good job of sometimes in their PLE they have a couple of matches that are just super predictable. I mean, I think all these matches could go either way. To be honest with you, so yeah, I mean, there's not like a clear cut winner. And then we're going to see the Battle of Canada versus United States. We're going to see All Ego, the NXT North American champion, teaming up with Chelsea Green, which is wild. She's going to be on Heatwave, going up against Tavion Heights and the LFG Season 1 women's winner, Tyra May Steele, the Olympic gold medalist. I'm gonna have to stick to what I said earlier. I think Ethan and Chelsea find a way to get it done, but I think it's gonna be a great match. But they could put Tyra and Tavion over here too, because I think Ethan is getting really close. He's already been on SmackDown before. Could Ethan Page end up being the fourth member of the Vision? I think that's something that we need to start analyzing and thinking about. I think once he drops that North American title, I think he's like the perfect fit for Seth Rollins' faction. So we're also going to see Blake Monroe going up against Jordan Grace. Will Jordan Grace finally get over that hump and get a big win? Or I don't know. It's hard to tell because I can't really see them WWE having Blake Monroe lose this early on. She hasn't. Yeah, I I'm probably gonna have to go with Blake, but I think it's time for a change for Jordan. I mean, Blake did make the comment that it's not, this place isn't big enough for the both of us. Jordan was rumored to go up to SmackDown like a couple month or two ago, or after she lost to Stephanie Valcour. She was supposed to be going up when Stephanie did, and we have not seen her on the main roster. So, could we possibly see that if she loses to Blake? I think it's a strong possibility. And then, in my opinion, what I think will probably be the main event, we will see the ruler Obafemi defending his NXT title against the young OG Devon Evans, which is going to be a classic. And I know everybody thinks that it's going to be an automatic that Oba wins, but I don't think so. I think that I'm stepping. Maybe we see a title change here. I don't know though. It's tough to say. Overall, it's going to be a great card. It was a great show tonight. Want to thank. I don't have as many. I don't think I have like 20 viewers, something like that. But there's a lot of there's a lot of shows going on right now. But I do want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. Put the comments back up here. Obviously, it's Happy National Soft Ice Cream Day. Shout out to Ryan. He is my editor. He does all the editing for me for my YouTube. Big shout out to him. You need something done, like hit him up because he's really good. Shout out to Ryan and shout out to Final Boss Baby. Thank you for coming. So before I get to the end, where I will tell you what I have coming up and where you can find me on my socials, I'm going to leave you guys with an intro or not, my outro. I'm sorry, and my little thank you message, and I'll be right back after that to tell you where you can find me on my socials and what to expect and for the rest of the week coming up on the EVP show. So enjoy.
CJP's your guy, let's start the show. Tag teams breaking, factions shaking. He's got the scoop for moves they're faking. Built on the line, dreams on display. The EVP show keeps the drama in play. It's good. Let's go where the heroes rise and the legends grow. CJP brings the shots, you know. The EVP show is out of control.
All right. Well, like I said, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. It was a phenomenal NXT. Go home to NXT Heatwave. So what I got coming up? Well, I'll tell you where you can find me on socials. On X, you can find me at the EVPCJP. And if you are following me, I did put a post out today. There is going to be a $25 giveaway. So if you see that post, like it, retweet it, share it. I'm trying to bring more people into the channel. It's for the people that are not subscribed. So if you're just watching and you're not sub, find me on X at EVPCJP. Like the post, retweet it, send a screenshot of that you're subbing to the channel. You go into that drawing, and I will draw for a winner of $25 the night of Clash in Paris. I think I have a couple in the entries right now, but I'm gonna keep pushing it and pushing it. because we have still got a little over 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks to till we get to Clash in Paris. So yeah, you definitely guys want to check that out. You can find me on Instagram as well at EVPCJP. And then the big boy is my YouTube channel is at the EVP Show and all capitals. All capitals. And then if you want to find me on TikTok, it's at Brady BradyDaGoat. At Brady the Goat 21, I think it is. I don't get on TikTok much. So yeah, that is my socials. So what I have coming up, I do not have anything coming up tomorrow. I'm working on a bunch of things coming up in September. There's going to be a bunch of new shorts coming out. I have some out right now. Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley one. You guys can check that out. Content on the channel. A bunch of previous live recaps. I did one last night with Edward, the Raw recap, and then I had the LFG recap this past Sunday. So tomorrow I will be off. The EVP will not be doing anything tomorrow. I'm going to be catching up on stuff that I need to get done. I will not be streaming tomorrow. It was a change of plans. But Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, it's going to be on a lot of platforms. It's the EVP Zero show with Bobby. And that is going to be our NXT Heatwave prediction show. It is going to be streamed on, I think, 7 or 8 different platforms, and it will be live on my X, my Facebook, and also on the EVP Show YouTube channel. So tune in for that Thursday at 3 p.m. Looking forward to that. And Friday, I will be back. I know SmackDown's coming on early, but I'm probably not going to watch it early because I have some stuff to do that morning or that afternoon, so to speak. But I am going to watch it when it comes on USA. So I will be back for the SmackDown recap at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. I will not be doing a LFG recap this week, unfortunately. I'm gonna have to skip out on it. I hate it because we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Like there's only we're halfway done with LFG, but it's NXT Heatwave Sunday. So you can tune in on this channel live at 11 p.m. Eastern. I may change that. Just depends on what I know. Heatwave starts at 7, but I want WWE's kind of wild on how long their PLEs are. I think it'll go to at least 10, maybe 10:30. But I have it set right now for 11 p.m. Eastern. It is going to be the NXT Heatwave recap. And then after that, you can catch me on Monday, on Main Event Monday, on Twitter Space. And I will be back for the Monday Night Raw recap. And that will also be the same time. I think that's going to be 11 p.m. I know they're going on early, and I could change the times. Friday and Monday's times could change. I highly doubt Fridays does, but Mondays could. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got going on right now. I do a Monday night recap, NXT recap, obviously tonight. A SmackDown recap. I normally do an LFG recap on Sundays, but the next 2 Sundays are going to have PLEs. So I will be doing the PLE recaps instead. So thank you guys again for showing up tonight, and I hope you guys enjoyed my show. Like I said, if you're on X, if you are not subbing to the channel and you want to get into that $25 drawing, I will be giving $25 away. So make sure you like and retweet that post and hit that like and sub on my YouTube channel, and also hit the like and the comments on this stream tonight. That helps get my channel and this show into the algorithm. With that being said, I will see you guys Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern live for the EVP Zero show with Bobby for the NXT Heatwave predictions. But until then, love one another. I'm the EVP from the EVP show, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. I'm out of here. 4 letters, 1 word. Baby.